But wouldn't it be great, sitting where we are, like we do every year, for a game, of this year, the way that Little Mo's been so critiquing Jason Myers, that would come down to a field goal like this, right in front of us.
He missed it.
And he missed it as we're talking. So, but he makes a 50-yarder in front of Little Mo. That would just be fan-freaking-tastic, people. All right.
When the coach is 5 yards on the field.
In the beginning of this game, I said, wouldn't it be ironic if it came down to a game-winning field goal for Jason Myers and Little Mo is in the field when it happened? Well, guess what, y'all?
Run.
We about to have it happen. And we're going to do the view from behind Little Mo.
He hasn't made it yet, y'all.
He hasn't made it yet.
No, not even 42 yards.
I have no clue. It's going to backfire if he missed it. It's going to backfire.
I know.
Nice and easy, Jason.
Come on!
Craziness.
There was
Craziness.
never a doubt.
Never a doubt, y'all. Never a doubt.
He still sucks.
Keep my name out your mouth.
And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, welcome everyone to a very special double episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Rams and the 49ers. So do us all a favor, put your tray table up, put your seat up in the full upright position, fasten that safety belt, keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. And what can I tell you? Did you really think if the Reverend of Seahawk Positivity went to the game that the Seahawks were going to lose? Of course not. Don't answer that, Will. I saw that. We're glad to be here for a very special double episode. We've got two games to talk about in the second half. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's get to the posse. And down there is Dustin. Hi, Dustin. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. How you been?
Pretty well. Yeah.
Good.
Working.
Very well.
Nose a
Good.
little red, sleep apnea mask that I wear
Oh, yeah.
gave me a red mark. So yeah, it's been irritated all day. so that
Wasn't
kinda
Lindsay. Wasn't Lindsay or anything.
sucks. No, it's definitely not a hickey. That would be a weird
Okay.
place for a hickey too.
I was thinking, but
Oh yeah, that could have been. Yeah.
that could have been, yeah.
Likely.
But
Yeah.
or she hit you in the knee by mistake or something. I don't know. Anyway, we'll leave that to your imagination. And over there is Will. Hi, Will.
I'm Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are things going for you?
Well, inspired by our opponents last week, I decided to enter this past week of mine and take command. And it worked about as well for me as it did for them. So
Yikes.
I'm
man.
going back to a philosophy called wing it and see what happens.
I think you should go commando instead.
Well, okay.
Yeah, not now, but we later. And over there's Little Mo. Hi, Little Mo. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Fresh from a whirlwind tour of Seattle we'll talk about here in a minute. With Statsman Mark, and you've got Dude there. Big
Whoa,
sweetie.
Sure.
He's got Dude, not the Dude. He's got Dude there. There's Dude. Seeing a quail.
Oh.
Big sweetie. All right. So this show is, even though it's a double episode, and we're going to talk about two games, we do the same format. So let's take a look at the 12-Man Fan Jam Show format, shall we? Yes, the 12-Man Fan Jam Show format is 4 quarters and a halftime, just like a real NFL football game. In the first quarter, Little Mo and I are going to talk about our experience out in Seattle. We were there last weekend to watch the Seahawks beat the Commanders, and we'll talk about our experience in Seattle. A short one, but it was a good one. At quarter two, of course, we'll talk about that Commanders game. At halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. I refer to 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. Winner last week was, I believe, Maddie. Did Maddie hit it
I
on the
think I
button?
won.
Who hit it on the button?
No,
I
that
thought
was
Matt-
2 weeks ago. I think that was
Oh,
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I think last week I won.
Oh, it
But I
was the
forget what
paint. It was the painting the White House.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
You won. You won. That's right. In the second half, we're going to talk about the two games coming up. We have two games before next Friday, so we're going to talk about both games before next show. The Rams are going to be on Sunday, and then the 49ers are going to be on Thanksgiving night in Seattle. Should be interesting. We're going to give our prognostications, predictions, and game balls for both of those games coming up and the second half of this show. We'd like to remind you we are all over the interwebs, so join us, won't you? I mean, there's so many places you can find our lovely faces. Of course, there's the Facebook page. We have a great game day thread there. Like, keep things going there and have a lot of fun with the game day thread. We're on Twitter, or X if you would, at 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We are on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. There are old videos, there are outtakes, other things, specials on there. And you can email us at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. And of course, TikTok. I try to put some highlights on there when I can. And remind you that we are a Seahawk Positivity production. So let's get into the first quarter. Okay, first quarter, usually we talk about the news as well, but I think the biggest news last weekend was the fact that yours truly and Little Mo there, we went on our trip from Indiana to Seattle to watch that Washington Commanders game. We left here Saturday and got out in Seattle about 6 o'clock Seattle time. And there we met Statsman Mark, friend of the show, who does Bricks Picks, who is on the show when he can.
He's still alive.
Still very much alive, still very much out there. And we had a great time with Statsman Mark. Not out there like crazy, but out there as in he was out there.
Right.
No, it works either way.
It works either way. We stayed with him at the Silver Cloud, which, if you don't know, is right next to the stadium.
And down the street to strip club.
And down the street's a strip club, but
Dream Girls. Yeah.
Yeah. Dream Girls.
Little Mo never made it to the game on Sunday.
He did make it to the game, and I don't know where he was Saturday night.
I'm 18. I could have went.
You could have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go there to sober up sometimes because they don't serve alcohol at those places. After a game, we just go hang out, sober up, and yeah.
And now you know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But the best thing about that, we had to recommend the hotel because when you go out of the hotel and you turn left, the stadium is right in front of you. So
when you leave at T-Mobile Park is right there.
T-Mobile is like right across from it, and then you just turn left, and there is just wonderful place to stay. Very nice. We had a great time there. We went to King Street in the morning, saw Will over King Street, saw Jimmy, saw Andy, Northern Hawk, all friends of the show. Went in, said hi to some people, Laura, Brad, a bunch of friends of the family, I call them. Went to the game, had a great time at the game, sat down in the end zone thanks to Neil Hart. Neil, can't ever thank him enough for making these trips possible. Without Neil, we would not probably be able to go to these trips with as much success as we do and see all the people, including Will. I met Will through Neil. So that's just an example of the impact that Neil's had in my life over the last 20 years. And we're able to sit front row end zone, had a great time. There was a really nice couple behind us that were Washington fans that were really nice, older couple. And I turned around after the game. I said, but wasn't to say this all game. I said, but on behalf of the rest of the NFL, we're happy for you that Dan Snyder is no longer in the league. And they both just laughed.
Yes.
And they said, oh, yes. We said, we're so happy for you. And they said, yes, we're happy for us too. And then we were walking out. There was another Washington fan I said that to. And he's like, oh, yeah, we're glad of that too. So it was really the interaction I saw between Washington and Seattle fans was very favorable, very friendly. They were down there with, the crazies and the yellers, but, they were treated very well. I didn't see anybody giving them a hard time or anything. Quite the opposite, a lot of handshaking at the end of the game and during the game. And, they seemed to really enjoy themselves. So I kind of like that. I like when a visitor can come down and see the game and they'll go back and say, wow, those Seattle fans were so nice. And that's, to me, I like that. I like having the reputation around the NFL of you can come to our stadium and not feel like you're going to get beat up just because you're wearing the wrong colors. I'm not a big fan of that. I think you can root I can root for somebody. My nephew's a Rams fan. We used to sit next to the game and root against each other. He's still my nephew, and then just because he has a different taste in jerseys doesn't mean that he's a bad guy. And so I like that. I'm sure they went back and told nice things about Washington, the game, and then flew back. Little Mo, what was your experience like? How would you like to share your experience in Seattle?
I thought Indiana weather was bipolar. Every other second it started raining and then stopped raining.
It did.
Like every second it just started and stopped and started and stopped.
Yes, it
but
did.
Never heavy rain.
Never heavy rain.
No.
Yeah,
A little more of a mist.
It was fun. Minneapolis Airport is not fun.
Minneapolis Airport is rather stretched out. Yeah.
That's a big one.
We're not fan of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good trip. Other than I didn't sleep because you snored the whole time.
I snored. I stuffed up as I still am, and I snored.
Yeah, and then now I'm sick. I wasn't sick before.
And now he's coughing.
Coincidence? I think not.
I hope Staffman Mark's okay. I haven't talked to him personally to see if he's coughing or not, but I snored and coughed a lot, and Little Mo and I sat next to each other, so now he's kind of coughing, but he'll get over it. We'll all get over it, but it was well worth it. Always a great trip out. To me, it's always become more and more about seeing you guys and seeing people out there, and less about the game. Sitting with Bruce, Painted Hawk. You've seen him on TV before. Bruce and I had a great discussion about retirement for about 10 minutes. And that's just typical. That's what it's about. If they're like everyone out there, Will and Dustin, when you're there, it's family. It's about being out there and seeing family.
Yeah.
And then we go see a football game, and we have a great time during the football game. I heckled. Lil Mo was kind of I heckled, but I try to heckle not like mean.
You made fun of Antonio Gibson because
you said it first. The
running back for the Commandos. Hold on, the running back for the Commandos is Brian Robinson, who's the one that got shot twice in the leg, right? And came back. And you got your job stolen by someone who got shot twice in the leg.
You said it, then I said that.
And then he later scored a touchdown.
What I originally said to Gibson was, "Oh my God, Gibson, you're still in the league?" I said, "You were on my fantasy team 2 years ago and you sucked then."
That is true, though.
Is what I screamed. And I said, "How many fantasy points do you get for a kickoff return?" "Probably the same as you did as a running back, none." So I said stuff like that. I just kind of had some fun. And they scored a touchdown in our end zone and did this thing to be quiet, but he didn't look at us. But yeah,
good one, Moses.
I know.
Thanks.
Way to go.
And I did yell at DJ Dallas. I think you heard me, Lil Mo didn't. He was just standing there.
I didn't say anything.
And I started going, "Today's the day, DJ." And he kind of did something. I said, "You've been close all year." And he went like this.
He did this.
I said, "You've been close all year. Today's the day, DJ. Today's the day." And he started doing this more and more as I was saying stuff. So I think you heard me. I don't know. I hope he did.
Definitely it was, but maybe soon.
It wasn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When I was playing Madden the other day, I returned one with DJ Dallas against the 49ers.
And he has been close all
opening
year.
Kickoff.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun too.
I will say, the kicker, let me tell you, the kicker for the Commanders, every time he kicked it in warm-ups, it went over the net. It was
from like 50,
like every time.
From like 50, 60. It was like going over the net.
That used to be one of the most fun parts of going to the Kingdom as a kid was they wouldn't put the net up. And they'd be out there kicking the ball. And as a kid, you're over there just trying to catch them. They wouldn't let you keep them. You'd have to give them back.
Right.
You just go out there and try and catch them. That was a lot of fun.
Well, I brought up Bruce and we've been doing this for a while. And the first year that Kicker Brown, what was his name? First name?
Josh Brown.
Josh Brown, when he went to the Rams and he said it wasn't about the money, but we were offering the same contract. Not slave to the businessman. So there was a lot of bitterness that Rams game, and Bruce had brought fake $100 bills, and this is when you could actually touch the net. We were close enough to actually touch the net, and so Bruce and I spent like 20 minutes tying fake $100 bills on the stupid net. The Rams lost 28-0. They never raised that. They never raised that net. All the scoring was down the other side. They never raised that damn net the whole game. We were so upset.
Yeah.
Because he raised up all these $100 bills.
He used to have a house over here where I'm at now, in between Wenatchee and Chelan, that he was next door neighbors with Matt Hasselbeck. They had like little
cool.
vacation homes over there. Yeah, my father-in-law was the building inspector on both the houses.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Very
cool.
nice. Yeah. But I brought that up to Bruce because we were talking. Remember we put all those $100 bills on there and then they never even raised it. It's just sad. Really sad. But that being said, Little Mo, did I forget anything?
Shenanigans, though.
It is some good shenanigans. Little Mo, anything you want to add about the game of the trip before we get to the second quarter, which we're going to talk about the game?
Other than I remember I said, Will on the show was real quiet, but once you get him on King Street, he ain't quiet.
I said he's in his element. Yeah, you're in your element. He did say that. And Andy came up to me because when Andy stayed here, my daughter was staying with grandma and we had that extra bed for Andy. So Andy slept in my daughter's bedroom. And so he came over to me when he saw Little Mo and he said, Little Mo's not mad at me for sleeping in his sister's bedroom, is he? Like, I don't think so, but you can ask him. He goes, okay, whatever. But we had a great time. Andy Lendenar, not Canadian Hawk, Northern Hawk, was there, and we always have a great time with Andy. It was great to seeing so many people. Rhonda was there. I'm going to forget somebody. I'm so sorry. Bert was there. So many people that I've seen over the years that we've shared, 20 people in a hotel room or, just over the years. And it's just like old family reunion. You want to go back. So love going back. Can't wait to go back next year and hopefully another win, which we'll talk about in a moment.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
So before we end the first quarter, we do want to share some news that we got when we were out in Seattle on a Saturday evening, 3,000 miles away from home. One of the 12-man Fan Jam show mascots and Little Mo and myself, our dog Abby, 13 years old, Black Lab, passed away while we were in Seattle. She went peacefully. She went up on her favorite bed, her favorite rug, and laid down and just kind of fell asleep. And so it was kind of bittersweet to hear that in Seattle when you're 3,000 miles away. 13 years, animals become pets. They become family. She was definitely a member of this family. She was everybody's best friend. She was a snuggle muffin. Mark himself, ironically, when he stayed here for the Colts game, he wanted to smuggle her home. He said, I'm going to take your dog. I'm going to put her in a bag. I'm going to take her home with me. He just wanted Abby to take home, and everyone felt that way when they met her. So,
yeah, she's very sweet.
Dustin, you as well, right? You've met her too. She's a very sweet dog. 13 for a lab is quite a long time. That's 91 supposedly in dog years and human years. We knew it was coming. I said she picked the one weekend out of 52 that we weren't here for that, but maybe that's what she planned. But I know Little Mo, we both, we're struggling with that, but we're getting through it, aren't we, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got Dude's still here, and Kona's still here, and April's still here. So we're still very well. The 12-man Fan Jam Show mascot cages are well stocked. So we're happy about that. So we'll be back with the second quarter. We are going to talk about that game that we saw, the Seahawks beating the Commanders 29-26. So we'll do that right after this. For now, I'll say goodnight, Snuggle Muffin.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the second quarter.
Yes, welcome back to the second quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Double episode 11:15, your Rams and 49ers edition. Kind of a somber way to end the first quarter, but we're going to bounce back, and we're going to talk about that Seahawks victory over the Washington Commanders that Little Mo and I flew out to Seattle to see, 29-26. Much to the delight of Little Mo, 5 field goals by Jason Myers, including the game winner, which you saw in the intro, was just absolutely what the doctor ordered. Will, let's talk about your thoughts about this game. What did you think about what you saw?
Well, a couple of things. First off, it was definitely a tale of two Genos.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at him in the second quarter, he was sailing passes. Into the quarter, we had a chance at one more field goal, and he held onto the ball too long and got called for intentional grounding, which is the one thing you can't do.
Right.
Or take one of two things: take a sack, but it's the same difference. And then you get into the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter, and he's just dropping dimes, leading the team on touchdown drives. I don't know if you've seen that slow motion replay of the pass to DK that got them into field goal range on the last drive. He put it right past the outstretched arm.
Oh, it was perfect.
Of the Washington defenders. I mean, it was that close and put it where it needed to be. So,
Will, the one we talked about was the pass to Lockett, which was floated over, the
linebacker.
Oh, beautiful.
If we could get that Geno a lot more consistently, I honestly believe this team, even with the other issues it has, would be a legit Super Bowl contender. I think we're a quarterback away right now. So
I think, like you said last show,
just keep play like you are capable of playing.
Like you said, we're going to go as far as Geno's going to take us, and I think that's the truth. And that was a great example, like you said, when he was on. I mean, it's almost like we've talked about him thinking too much. Just go out there, and it seems like when he plants that foot and throws it without thinking, then good things happen. But if he holds it, he's thinking too much. He's trying to do too much. And just if it's not there, third row, 2nd and 10, start again. And I just wish that he would, be more decisive and stop trying to be this elite quarterback that we don't need. We don't need that. We need a Pro Bowl guy like last year, a guy that's decent, Pro Bowl level, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's what we need from you. That's as high as you have to go. Yeah, that's all you have to be, is efficiency and be just a Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
One more quick comment. Jamal Adams, if you're going to strut for about 20 yards after making a tackle, maybe you shouldn't do that in the same game where you blitzed the quarterback, completely whiffed on him, and on a play that led to a Washington touchdown.
Oh, I know.
And
he was very upset after the game. We saw the after game show, and he was very upset at himself about that. He's like, "You're going to bring it up, aren't you?" He said he was not happy about it. But yeah.
Also, I'm sick of seeing Mafe in coverage. It was I think both of the broken plays that were like that were both on Mafe. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's the pass rush, so it's an excuse, but you see the quarterback, you start going after the quarterback because you're a pass rusher, and that's what Brian Robinson had.
Let him rush the passer. The passer. He's really good at it. He got sacks in 7 games. Let him do that.
And broke Sinclair's record, by the way. If you're wondering whose record he broke, it was Sinclair's. I saw. Dustin, what about you? Give us some feedback on what you saw.
I think it was one of those games where the end of the day stats, at least from the quarterback, didn't really match what it felt like during the game. Because if you just looked at the stat line, it looked like he had a great game, but there was a lot of frustration watching that game. Especially we're talking about briefly on the chat thread on Facebook that they kept going to Geno and having him throw the ball at the end of the first half, and he had missed 5 passes in a row. It's that's not a good formula. You got to run. You got to mix it up. You got to do something. You can't just rely on that. But little spots like that, and you think he had a terrible game, but at the end of the day, offense came back and basically won the game twice because the defense needed help. They needed bailed out. And, when it was clutch time, he showed up, which is great. But I'd rather, have some consistency and efficiency like we're just talking about rather than theatrics. We had plenty of theatrics with Russell Wilson. Let's change it up a little bit and have consistency.
I was sitting there, Dustin, fourth quarter. They're down by 7, meaning the Commanders. There's 2 minutes left. There's no way. I honestly felt no way in hell that Hal is going to drive down on this defense. And it was 3rd and 10 or 4th and 10. He got that conversion. I thought, oh, what is going on? And then it just went from there.
Yeah.
But
oopsie. And then just, miscommunications, and it's I don't know where some of that.
I don't know how that one that last touchdown was a touchdown. I don't know how there's so many people there. I don't understand that. Kenneth Walker, get him in space. That I mean,
mercy.
he just kept running. That's their all in zone. He just kept running.
Yeah.
And JSN is again showing signs of why we drafted him where we drafted him, because get him in space, same thing.
We got a little bit of taste of how it is when all three of those receivers are going at the same time.
Yes, we did.
And we got a little taste of what Zach Charbonnet can do when you let him run over people.
Yeah, he had a play there that reminded me. We had a player, I forget who it was off the top of my head, several years ago. He either picked off the ball or got a fumble or whatever, defensive lineman, and he goes running up the field. And rather than try and cut out to go score a touchdown, he went over and ran over the quarterback instead. He kind of, sacrificed a touchdown to hit the quarterback when he was carrying the ball. And Charbonnet kind of reminded me of that a little bit when he, instead of going out of bounds and taking the thing he should have done, he was like, I'm going to run through this guy instead.
Right.
Yeah. Well, rookie mistake, but, it's fun to watch. And if you're a defensive player, you can't pass up the chance to flatten somebody's quarterback. It's just the way.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Real quick, Metcalf 7 for 98, Lockett 8 for 92 and a touchdown, and JSN 4 for 53. That's pretty much what I would expect on a weekly basis on a good night from those guys, all three.
And Will Dissly got 2 targets
and made the most of them.
Got catches on. So
I think they said that Lockett and Metcalf had 60 yards in the fourth quarter, if I read that right.
I think so.
I think it was 60 yards plus, obviously, in the fourth quarter. That's just giving your best receiver, giving him, let them run. A lot of
they did not have an answer for Metcalf. They didn't have an answer for Metcalf. And then when they started to try double him, then that's what should happen. Metcalf should be the guy, and then they start doubling him, and then Lockett's going to wind up with 10 catches. And then when that happens, you throw the 4-yard pass to JSN, it becomes a 20-yard gain. That's exactly what we envisioned this offense to be. And we saw a little bit of that in the Commanders game.
I know everybody's celebrating Jason Myers' 5 field goals, but we shouldn't. The kicker shouldn't have 5 field goals.
No.
No, agree.
And also, let me tell you something. If he
does get stuck with having to do it, at least he made all 5.
True.
If you see him in warm-ups, he was missing. He was bad. And I will say this. Listen, I have apologized to Jason Myers. You do not suck. You're just below average.
That's a left-hand apology right there. That's a backhand apology.
Wow.
Take what you can get, Jason.
Yeah.
But like as the intro said to little Mo, keep my name out your mouth is what Jason Myers would probably say. So
wasn't it keep my name out your mouth?
Pecking mouth.
I edited just a little bit. Anyway,
paraphrasing.
One thing that we can't keep out of our mouth is the posse prediction challenge. Let's see how we did on that, shall we? How
basically dirty.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, posse prediction challenge. Let's see how we did this week. Scores were good. I'm giving it to Becky. 27-24 for 29-26. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see. Prognostications, Jose. We did have 3 sacks. Walker had a touchdown. Little Mo, they did have 3 sacks. And Will said twice as many sacks. We had 3 times as many. I think we had 3. They had 1. Game balls I gave
people.
I gave it to Walker. I gave it to Metcalf. I gave it to Mafe. Everybody else in there really. JSN had a good showing. Adams was decent. Dixon was okay, but nothing there was showing. The over and under was over. So you see everyone that won there. Here's what these scores look like after week 9 scores. Jimmy, Becky, and Will were the big winners this week with 3. Andy, Little Mo, and me with 2. Mike, Chris, Statsman, Mark, Justin, and Jose with 1.
And Matt also played.
And Matt also played. Matt's not here, by the way. He hurt his ankle. Somebody pushed him, came jumping out of the shrubs and pushed him down the steps and walked away wearing a green jersey. I don't know who that might be.
A Jets
allegedly.
Number 8, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they're looking at the film. That's all I'm saying. Overall, Jimmy is the leader with 19, Chris with 18, Andy 15, Statsman, Mark, and me in 4th place with 13. Will, Becky,
Wow.
12. Mike, 11. Little Mo, 9. Maddie, Jose, 7. Dustin, 6.
I'm here.
You're
Thanks
here.
for helping.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Uh-oh.
yeah, this got a little wider.
12 to 82.
82 to 61. It's a 21-point
Huh.
lead, or I guess for us, it's a 21-point deficit, gentlemen, with half a season left.
Time for
plenty
the
left.
dramatic comeback.
We're doubling our bets
Yeah.
this week, so hopefully that'll help.
Sounds good.
So we can fall farther behind.
So well, let's get to halftime and let's get to those two games.
Holy shit, it's halftime!
All right, we got a lot of show coming up still. We're going to talk about the Rams game. We're going to talk about the 49ers game on Thanksgiving. But before we do that, it is the best Seahawks themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. And that's coming up right after this. Join us, won't we?
I'll be here.
You'll be here.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Yes, welcome everyone to America's favorite Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. I refer to 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
The game that challenges the posse and the watchers and listeners of this very podcast. Those of you watching the podcast, the questions will come up on the screen and tell us how you did. You can guess yourself. The contestants are the posse themselves, Little Mo, Dustin, and Will. Here's how the game is run. There are 2 rounds of questions. Each of them will get 1 question per round worth 1 point. At the end of that, there'll be a final question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, there's a double secret overtime question where the winner will be crowned 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world of this episode 1115. Remember, in the first 2 rounds, gentlemen, you can remove one of your possible answers, and I will not remove the correct one. I will remove one of the wrong answers to your question. You may do that once in the first 2 rounds. All right, let's play. Dustin, the questions in round 1 are about the Rams. The Rams, 1, 2, or 3?
1.
All right, Will.
King of Will.
2, please.
Oh, he did that for Matt.
3.
Little Mo gets 3. All right, here we go. Dustin, remember 2 questions are about games. 1 will not be about a game. Yours is about a game. When Seattle played the Rams in Los Angeles in 2017, how many turnovers did the Rams have in that game? 3, 4, or 5, Dustin?
Oh.
69, dude.
They were in Los Angeles in 2017?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. They moved away from St. Louis longer ago than I thought.
Yeah.
And they went to
We're
the
getting
Super Bowl
old.
that year.
2016 was their first year in LA. So
Okay. Turnovers did the Rams have in that game?
Are you Googling?
Oh, they were. No, I'm.
Okay.
So I have a screen on the left here that has the questions up on.
Okay.
the question, right?
Yeah. They
Or
were
the
pretty
answers.
good. They were pretty good those first couple years there. I'm gonna say 3 probably.
He's going to say 3.
That's still bad.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
5. They had 5
Holy
turnovers
shit.
that game. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
He caused 5 turnovers. What's happening?
Crazy.
I think the
Will.
Legion of Boom.
Yeah, like in that time, our defenses were playing historically bad.
Yeah, they were.
Not in that game.
Not in that game. Hey, Will.
Uh,
In
What?
what year did the Rams join the National Football League? 36, 37, or 38? Remember that?
Oh, like it was yesterday.
Don't we all?
1936.
He's going to say 1936. 1937.
37. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
This
Were
is
they
why
close.
it's
actually
that
the
much.
Rams? Were they the Rams or what were they?
Yeah, they were the Rams.
Were they the
They-
Cleveland Rams back then?
No, they were the Cleveland Rams in the 20s. They joined the National Football League as the Los Angeles Rams.
Duh.
Oh, wow.
Idiot.
Little Mo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When the Seahawks played the Rams in Los Angeles in 2022, how many times did the Seahawks
In Los
sack
Angeles.
quarterback Tom Wolford? 3, 4, or 5 times.
Oh, good old Tommy W.
Go Tom Wolford.
The 4.
He says 4. Yes.
Oh, only one with a point.
Little Mo has a point. Rest of us, we have no
Victory.
points.
We're completely pointless.
So we will move on to questions round 2, which are now focused to the 49ers. The 49ers. Little Mo, would you like question 4, 5, or 6?
4.
Little Mo goes question 4. Will?
I just summon up a little less enthusiasm here.
Will, 5 or 6?
Dude, he can't even sit up for the show. He's too busy.
I know.
I'm watching UTSA was in South Florida, in case you're curious.
It never ends.
I don't know what that means.
It never ends.
Basketball?
It never ends.
Football, y'all. Football.
Football.
It never ends. All right, here we go.
No, it doesn't.
Week 1 went to UTSA. You put some respect on their name now.
He did.
He did.
Little Mo, that's not your question. This is your question. It's actually a Rams question. I one Rams question, one 49er question, and one's kind of in the middle. All right.
Did you ask for those numbers?
Yeah.
What was I at?
You said first. 4, and you were too busy watching your football game.
The foosball.
Right, go ahead.
It's the devil.
Foosball.
Little Mo, the Seahawks played the Rams in 2023. There is another Rams question. I apologize. How many times did we sack Baker Mayfield? 3, 4, or 5?
Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield,
Yeah, he was
2023,
with
remember?
Briefly. Stafford was out.
January
Everywhere.
23, and the end of the 2022 season.
Take one away.
4. It's either 3 or 5.
Jesus. Well,
Jesus is not an answer.
We ain't got no pass rush, so 3. Let's ride.
Ain't got no pass rush. We got 3. It's 5. Yeah.
What a loser.
Well, you're pointless right now, so.
Will, this is a 49er question.
Oh,
you must like these. What year did San
Michael
Francisco join the NFL? 1946, 47, or 48?
I just love how none of those are 1949.
That's what
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic? Yeah.
Take one away.
Yeah.
Take one down and pass it around.
I'll take 48 away. It's either 46 or 47.
I'm gonna blow this. I'm gonna hate my life. 1946.
He's gonna blow it and hate his life. Sounds like something Matt would say. It's 46. You got it right.
Well,
How did Will manage to get both of those?
That's
I
pretty
just
funny.
have a talent for it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin.
So I have the in-between.
I love this question. When the Seahawks played the 49ers in San Francisco back in 1979, how many touchdowns did O.J. Simpson score in that game for the 49ers? 0.
What a killer. What a
to-
killer runner, man.
I didn't even know OJ played for them.
He ended the career in San Francisco.
He was a killer, man. You remember?
You
79.
should have seen him cut through those defensive lines.
Oh, man, here it goes. He did not wear gloves, though. No gloves.
They probably wouldn't fit too well.
Well, yeah, it didn't fit. So.
He must have quit.
Let's. I know what I want to say, but let's take one away.
I'll take away 2. Either scored 0 or 1 touchdowns. Touchdown.
All right, we rarely ever have 0 as an option, so I'm gonna take 0.
We never have 0 as an option.
You see your brain right there.
Well, it's 1, so
That's why we rarely have 0 as an
that's
option.
right.
Yeah.
So
The decoy.
Will has 1, Little Mo has 1, Dustin has nothing. But Dustin,
Killing
do
it.
not fret. For now, it's time.
You've
for
got
the final
nothing.
question. Good day, sir.
Question.
Final question. Final question is a number. The closest without going over gets 2 points and will be crowned champion of this
3.
edition of your 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. And the order will go Dustin, Will, and Little Mo. It is about the last season's playoff game between the 49ers and the Seahawks, where the Seahawks lost. Although they had the lead, at halftime. My question for you, Dustin, is how many yards of offense did the Seahawks have in that game? How many yards of offense for the Seahawks in that playoff game last year?
$337.
Will, 337. The table's been
296.
296. Little Mo. 296, 337.
338.
338, dude. The
Either gonna
amount.
be Will or you, because
Yep.
That's true.
Unless you got it right on the dot.
no, he would have announced it.
Yeah, I would have. Last season's playoff game between the Seahawks and 49ers. 332. Dustin.
No!
By 5. But Will
Wow.
wins because he was under. Congratulations, Will. Well done.
Good job, Will. Good job, Will.
Nice guess, Dustin. I mean, that's pretty
thanks.
impressive.
That was nice
Yeah, that
table
was-
setting.
I knew I was guessing 3 something, and then Sean Alexander just popped on my head, so I said 337.
Matt is so proud of the table that was set here. He would enjoy the table setting, I think, here.
He would,
And
like,
he would have said
all
1
the
yard.
silverware was in the right place. the
And he would have said
cups
1
were
yard,
nice.
no matter what everyone else said. 1 yard.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations, Will. Well done. That was an exciting, very close question. By the way, the overtime question would have been the 49ers yards of offense. That was 505 in that game. 505.
Jesus Christ.
So, yep, he was there
Not
too.
cool.
So, this has
CMC
been
and
another
Debo were hard to stop.
stomach churning, belch inducing, head spinning, earlobe waxing.
Osteoporosis.
Eyebrow waxing, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Bile
Knee-
generating.
Kneel splitting.
Yeah.
Reproductive system.
There's no verb.
Edition of your 12-man fan jam show.
Two.
If you're gonna go waxing, you gotta go like Brazilian
Chest
waxing.
rub.
Halftime trivia. Chest rubbing. Halftime trivia
of the world.
of the world. We'll be back after I teach Little Mo some grammar, and then
Yeah.
we'll be back
I thought you were
after
a
that.
teacher.
I
Yeah.
ain't got no grammar.
He ain't got no grammar, none.
Got that country grammar like Nelly.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
Guys, welcome to the second half of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1115. Double episode, double the fun, double the exposure, double the excitement, double the pleasure. That's what we're doing here. Third quarter, we are going to talk about the upcoming Rams game. Fourth quarter, upcoming 49ers game. So Rams game this Sunday at 4:25 p.m. on the East Coast, 125 over in the West Coast, and in England, probably 1974. We don't know. Seattle is a 1-point underdog going to LA, and the over-under is 46.5. Yeah, it's true. Let's go through some predictions here. First for team 12, who's leading by 21 points. Jose, 27-24. Prognostication, Seahawks get an interception. Game ball, Lockett. Mike, revenge time, Hawks 20, Lamb 17. Game ball, Dixon. Guy never gets proper credit. I think he'll be busy in field position. May be too big in the last quarter. Prediction, 6 or more sacks between both teams. Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, wow.
I know. Chris, Seahawks 26, Lambs 20. Prognostication, a tight end will score a touchdown. Game ball to Adams. I like that. Andy, Seahawks 28, Lambs 17. Game ball to DK. Prognostication, the defense will score. Jimmy, Clams always play us tough. I expect another ugly game, probably a snot knocker, if you would. But the Hawks do enough just to pull it out. That's what she said. Hawks 23-20. Prognostication, Jason Myers with 3 field goals. Game ball to Walker.
That's lit. 3 field goals. That's some prognostication.
Becky says 33-10. Bobo touchdown. Game ball to Witherspoon. Now, so that's been marked for us.
Wow.
Seahawks 27-23. Mafe with a sack. Game ball to Lockett. Matt 24-17. Interception return for a touchdown. Game ball Diggs. Little Mo. What you got?
Huh? What are we doing?
Hi.
How's it going?
Welcome back to the podcast. We're predicting the Rams game. It's third quarter. We're going to do 49ers game after this.
Yeah, the Rams. Yeah, they're a team.
Yeah, they are.
Agreed.
34-24.
Not wrong.
34-24. Okay.
That's his prognostication. The Rams are we need all the help we
1
get.
point for us.
Only my son.
I just don't like Aaron Donald. He's mean.
He is mean.
Love him if he's on your team.
That's
though, I
not
tell you
your
that.
prognostication. You can't say I don't like Aaron Donald.
Oh, that's
He's a
2
funny-
points. He's got 2 points.
My
now.
pronunciation
He's a good
is I
human
don't like
being.
Aaron Donald.
I don't know. I'm just going with the flow, baby.
Give me a prognostication to get back to your game.
DK Metcalf touchdown.
All right.
And Kenneth Walker ball of game.
Ball of game.
The game.
I don't know what's happening.
Ball of game.
Is there one spinning right now? What's happening?
You need to take the
how
remote
much
away from him.
Cough medicine have you chugged?
I take the kid to Seattle one time. He comes back higher than a kite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's just from walking
right
around
in.
the city.
Yep.
It was. One time he went, ooh, I smell something. I said, yes, you do.
Yeah,
Dustin.
I said I know it ain't smoke.
Yeah. Dustin, what do you
It
got?
burns my nose.
Oh, God. We go
All
from
right,
Little
well-
Mo to Dustin.
What's the
Agreed.
difference?
Again, yeah. That's Dennis's prognostication. He's correct. That's the point. But
Free.
all right. So I know that Dennis hijacked Will's job and Maddie called in sick for his job, but I'm still gonna do my thing.
All right. Do your thing.
Real
Injury
quick.
report.
Injury report real quick. Los Angeles Rams, they have one person questionable. Defensive back Kobe Durant has a shoulder injury. That's it. That's all they got.
Wow.
Yeah, which means Stafford is going to play. I know he
Yeah.
missed last week, but
He is going to play,
now.
yeah.
Seattle Seahawks have one player out. Derek Young has that abdomen injury. He showed up, I think, for the first time last week and then left early because he hurt his abdomen. We have 4 players questionable.
Poor guy.
Abraham Lucas, which great to see he's actually practicing,
Mhm.
but he's questionable. Tyler Lockett's got a hamstring injury that he's been dealing with. He's questionable. Jamal Adams has a knee injury. I'm sure it's the same knee where he had the patellar tendon issue last year. And then cornerback Trey Brown's got a foot injury he's dealing with. Now, the reason I wanted to make sure and bring that up is because I think with the hamstring injury Tyler Lockett's been dealing with and the fact that he missed practice a couple times this week, I think it's going to kind of open it up for Bobo, like what happened with DK.
Okay.
When DK missed the game, I think Bobo is going to have, I'm going to say my prognostication, he's going to get his first 100-yard receiving game. That's my guess.
Wow.
And then Hawks are going to, and he's going to get a game ball because of that for me. And then I'm going to say the Seahawks are going to win this one 24-17.
Nice.
Get a little payback down there in Los Angeles.
I like how you tied all that together. It's very well done. Very well done. Are you telling
Off the
me
top
that
of the
we
head.
might actually get to see McIntosh this week?
Shit. Yeah, that didn't even dawn on me. Yeah, McIntosh is playing.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
We'll just see him on special teams. That's about it.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Will, that was nice when you tied it all in, Dustin. It was very nice. Will, what you got
Thank you.
for the Rams game?
Well, Moses, week 1, the Rams beat us 30-13, and I'm going to say payback is a bitch. We beat the Rams 30-13 on Sunday.
Nice.
That would be awesome.
I am also going to go with a rookies first, only I'm going to say Zach Charbonnet gets his first ever touchdown. And with Lockett kind of banged up, my game ball goes to DK.
Charbonnet, or as Matt likes to call him, Carb on it.
Carp on it, yeah.
Yeah, I love how our big bruising running back has a name that sounds like something Fraser Crane would have in his liquor cabinet.
Yeah, basically. But I think a carb on it over in England, and Matt could correct us when he's back on next week, but I think a carb on it is a trunk.
Speaking
call
of
it
which, when you watch Avengers or the new Marvels movie, if you do, watch the end credit scene. Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, nice. He hears
UTSA quarterback
not
is
Fraser
left-handed.
Crane, though. That would have been awesome.
That
All
would
right.
have been hilarious.
Do
My
you guys know
turn.
UTSA? You guys know UTSA's quarterback is left-handed?
We do now.
Trying to
Absolutely.
trying
I
to
know that
care.
now.
Hey, last week, to the well-documented delight of Little Mo, the Seahawks kicked their way past the Commanders on the leg of Jason Myers and looked to kick the Rams to the curb this week. The Rams come into this week's game losers of the last 3 games by a combined score of 87-40. But like an old washed-up actor, they still hope there is still some soft-core film out there looking for a cheap cameo. But I digress. My goodness.
Yeah,
Offensive-
oh, there's proof. We can't see Lil Mo's brain.
If you look closer.
It's not there.
Offensively, they look to get back on track with quarterback Matthew. You mean I'm still in the NFL Stafford, whose 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions this season are about as exciting as the sequel to the movie Cats. Defensively, it should be pointed out that I've often talked in this moment about my affections for Aaron Donald. And quite honestly, that hasn't changed, as he still scares the absolute bejesus out of me. And he can toss me around like a big old fat rag doll. So I'm not even going there. Then there's that coach from the Rams, Timothy.
Handsome.
Oh my God, is he looking at me, McVay? Who I say with the utmost and confident heterosexuality that he's extremely easy on the eyes and a catch for anybody. But I definitely digress. The Rams are 3-6, and they're hoping to spoil the Seahawks playoff chances. Not this week. Want to see how defense throws Stafford on the ground more than a Hollywood hooker at a Charlie Sheen bachelor party, as they get not one,
got HIV now.
not 2, but 3. Yes, 3 sacks. Watch my game ball, Bobby Wagner, show the Rams that they might have wanted to invest some money in him this offseason. Sorry, Los Angeles. Both your teams going to suck this year. Seahawks win. Seahawks 30, Rams 16. Okay.
You know, something we didn't talk about with Bobby Wagner and Tyler Lockett. Bobby and Tyler both. Tyler, I think, gets 5 receptions this game. He ends up going second on the Seahawks all-time receiving list.
Oh, nice.
Under Steve Largent. And then Bobby, I think 5 tackles, 7 tackles. He breaks 100, and he'd be only the 3rd player in NFL history to have 10 straight seasons with 100 tackles or more.
Unbelievable.
So
get the man his jacket.
Let's get them both on Sunday.
Let's get them both on Sunday. I agree. But before we do all that, we have to talk about Thanksgiving and the Rams and the 49ers game. So let's end the third quarter. All right, coming up, we did the Rams game now. Why this is a double episode. We are going to come back to the fourth quarter and do our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for the 49ers game on Thanksgiving. And we're doing that right after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches!
Welcome back to the fourth and final quarter of this double episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Episode 1115, the Rams and 49ers. We just did our Rams predictions for Sunday. We don't have another show until next Friday, so between that game Sunday and Friday is Thanksgiving, and with Thanksgiving comes Thanksgiving night. Seahawks at home Thursday against the 49ers at 8:20 p.m. on the East Coast, 5:20 on the West. And in England, somewhere around 1492. We don't know. But
way too late.
Let's look at the predictions. This is kind of hard because we don't have a lot of proof of who's going to play that game or how we do against the 49ers and the Rams. So we have to kind of go with our gut here. The 49ers, Jose, he says the 49ers win. 28-17. Prognostication.
California guys can't be trusted.
No. Prognostication, someone gets ejected from the game. Game ball if we win, Bobby Wagner. Mike, Seahawks 24, Winers 30. Says, sorry, I need the points. No. Don't apologize to me that you turn your back on your team. Game ball, DK, prediction, Witherspoon, INT. Chris, Hawks 24, 49ers 21. Thank you. Prognostication, Hawks get 2 takeaways. Game ball to Witherspoon. Andy, Seahawks 24, 69ers 21. Game ball to K9. Jason, don't call me Oscar Myers, with a game-winning field goal on the last drive. Jimmy, huge turkey game. Huge. It's a huge game. The Hawks finally get over the hump. That's what she said. Feed off the crowd. Hawks win 2016. Prognostication, Leonard Williams with a sack. And what a job Leonard Williams has done since he's come over. Leonard Williams with a sack.
Baltimore game, not so much, but the other, last week, for sure.
Game ball to DK.
It's funny he got the sack and he was celebrating, and the lineman wanted to fight him.
And they had an attitude.
Didn't even notice.
I yelled,
He just
I
sitting
yelled
there.
out, don't yell at, don't get mad at us because you failed at your job, is what I said. Becky,
Fair.
41-20. Seahawks defense with 2 interceptions, Wagner game ball. Statsman mark for us. Seahawks 24-22. Charbonnet touchdown game ball to Metcalf. Maddie, 28-26 Seahawks. 1 ejection in the game as well. Game ball to Metcalf. Little Mo, are you with us?
Here.
Are you paying
We're
attention?
good.
All right. 49ers, Thanksgiving night. Give me a score.
Turkey.
Like Little Mo, 4
Turkey.
plates.
Turkey.
28-24 Seahawks.
A lot of thought went into this.
Yeah, I'm looking at that white guy right now on the screen. I don't know what's happening.
Prognostication.
Okay.
Cough medicine, folks. Not even once.
You know, I bought NyQuil the other day because my wife and mother-in-law have been sick. And I got ID'd. I had to put in my birthday because apparently in Washington, you can't buy NyQuil if you're under 18.
3 sacks.
And Lil Mo's proven why.
Seattle, 3 sacks.
Yeah.
All right.
And then JSN game ball.
Ooh, nice. Right. Dustin, they actually thought you were under 18. That's pretty awesome.
No, they said no.
Size.
They just have to put in the. They just they just have to put in the birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, software requirement.
Oh, well.
But so we're on San Francisco now. I'm gonna say so defensive. So let me preface this. So a lot of times in these games, I assume the defenses are going to show up and it's going to be like a freaking hard hitting type game.
A snot knocker.
And I've been wrong a lot with that. So I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be a little bit higher scoring game. I'm going to say the Seahawks are going to win 31-28.
Ooh, okay.
And I think a big part of this is going to be we're going to have tight ends in there a lot more, and they're going to be blocking or fake blocking and running out for passes. So I'm going to say that Noah Fant's going to end up with 5+ catches. And that's my prognostication because I think he's going to end up being a big part of it. We're going to have to throw to tight ends.
Okay.
And then game ball to Fant also for that.
Oh, nice. Okay. Noah Fant, that'd be good to see. Will.
Let's go 29-23 49ers.
That might be a scoregasm. Or scoregami, I'm sorry. Scoregami. Whatever you want to call it.
Slight difference, Dustin.
Yeah.
A scoregasm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a scoregastic day. Let me tell you.
Wow. A scoregasm.
Yeah.
Well,
my God.
For my prognostication, I'm going to steal one from Dustin's Madden game. I'm going to say DJ Dallas gets a return touchdown, and we will all scoregasm while watching it. And
I will.
And my game ball will go to Leonard Williams because it's better to have bad sacks than no sacks at all.
Wow, scoregasm.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite fantasy team. Multiple scoregasms. Wow.
I guess that's going to be another catchphrase.
Like kerfluffle.
Yeah.
And,
they used that the other day. It was on the Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. One of those.
They've
guys
used it on a lot of things. Yeah, I've seen a lot of. Every time I see it, I want to record it, but I don't.
They're talking about Congress and the fights that they were trying to start this last week.
The kerfuffle.
Yeah.
All right. So after that amazing win against the Rams this Sunday, see what I did? Our Seahawks will be 7-3 and headed home for Thanksgiving to face the 49ers. Thanksgiving, the turkey, the stuffing, the embarrassing relatives once again showing you how racist your family can be. Yes.
Yeah.
And that one dish brought to the meal by some long lost distant relative no one claims. That dish that no one can understand. Is it dessert? Is it an entree? Is it pie? Is it meat? Nobody knows what the hell it is. Is that a hot dog in there? Anyway, I digress. The 49ers are led on offense by Brock. My receivers are Purdy, who must look over his receiving options like a fat cousin eyes the mashed potatoes and gravy as they're passed around the table. We've all seen that. Defensively, the elite 49er defense went out and added pass rusher Chase Young to the defensive line in a move that was about as needed as a second helping of Aunt Susie's Jell-O casserole. Two teams that are not NFL turkeys this week, the Seahawks and the 49ers, are pulling away from the rest of the NFC West faster than a car of kids leaving grandma's after the pumpkin pie. The division seems to be down to these two teams, no matter how you slice the pie. And the 49ers are looking to put the Seahawks farther behind them as well. But not on Thanksgiving. Watch my game ball, DK Metcalf. Big players play big in big games. 100 receiving yards, my prognostication. Oh, back to the kiddie table, 49ers. You're not ready. Seahawks 24. San Francisco 49ers 20. Happy Thanksgiving. Book it. And that's booked. And now we've booked 2 games. And we've talked about our experience in Seattle. And we've talked about trivia. And we've had multiple scoregasms. What more could we ask for us? On behalf of
this stretch coming up is going to be brutal. We got
it really is.
Always play as hard. San Francisco twice, I believe, and then the Eagles
and the Cowboys are in there as well.
And the Cowboys, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be a rough stretch, but we're ready for it. And we hope you are too. On behalf of Dustin and Little Mo and Will, Statsman Mark and Matt from Merry Old England, this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity saying, until next weekend, as always, everyone, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Good night, Snuggle Muffin.